EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Peach State. Welcome to Georgia, where Freddie Falcon soars from the rafters inside Mercedes, just west of downtown Atlanta. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons.
2026 Atlanta Falcons.
Mike Tirico, Greg Olson, we welcome you. The punter, Bradley Pinion, gets this started. And off we go here in Atlanta. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. So the Panthers led out by their quarterback, Bryce Young. Shaky rookie year, but the back end of his second year, Greg, very effective for the man who was the #1 overall pick out of Alabama in 2023.
We had a chance to see him out on the field early in pregame, and I thought he looked really sharp. I thought he looked focused. We had a chance to talk to him earlier in the week, and he's excited for this opportunity today. He thinks he's got a chance to lead this offense and have a lot of success, and ultimately the #1 goal is to come out with a victory.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. From the gun, it's Young. The coverage too good downfield to wind up taking him down. David Onyemata gets him for a loss of 4. And that'll set up 3rd down.
Well, here early on, if this pass rush continues to get home at this rate, this is going to be a long day for this offense. They're going to have to put some extra guys in there, mix in some play action, keep this pass rush off balance.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Leggett in motion. Out of the shotgun, Young. He's got a man. That's McMillan. Still going. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 75 yards. Touchdown, Carolina. Terrific way to start this one, Greg, on the opening drive. Getting the ball in the air, down the field, and into the end zone for 6.
We wondered all week secondary would get tested, especially as the game progressed. Well, we didn't have to wait very long. I mean, a big play early, and we got ourselves a 6-0 ball game.
Ryan Fitzgerald now to add the extra point. The kick is good, and the Panthers will take a 7-0 lead.
Falcons 0.
Following the touchdown, it is Fitzgerald to send this one away. Carter on the return. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Falcons set to take over here on offense, and leading them out at quarterback. They'll play college ball at North Dakota State. It's Easton Stick.
He spent a lot of time, Mike, over these last couple days speaking to the media, and the thing that jumped out to me was just how
in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Bobby Brown in there to drop him. Loss of 5 to start the drive.
And these are the type of splash plays that can have an impact, especially as the game goes on. So offensive line has to do a better job to make sure that they have this protection shored up and that this isn't a sign of things to come.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Moving to his right. He's going to tuck it and go.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his first and second reads, but what they fail to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
3rd down and 9. Here's Stick. That's complete. He's got it to London. 11 yards on the connection there. It's good for a Falcon first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
To throw is Stick. Quick slap into the hands of Mooney. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 42-yard line.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Stick to throw. He'll step up and run. And he will slide to a halt, but he does have the first down.
It's a gain of 20.
And this is something the defense knew they had to contain coming in today, Mike. They worked all week on containing this quarterback. But here we are, early on in the game, a nice scramble there, good yardage, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Now Stick. His receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. Nice chunk here in this good-looking drive. Pickup of 14 and a first down.
It takes a certain guy in that slot position to be willing and able to go across the middle of the defense on those in-breaking routes. You can tell this guy, he doesn't care. He is fearless going across the middle, and he's able to secure a nice catch.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
He'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Another run here for Robinson. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
Throwing, Stick, left side in the hands of London. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
It's a gain of 7.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that. We don't give these big guys enough credit, Mike, just how fast these defensive tackles really are. Here he uses his speed to break through, take it back down for a loss.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. Stick to throw. That is hard. What a job to keep the play alive. Bijan Robinson. Touchdown Atlanta.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down a score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score on the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come over with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Zane Gonzalez on for the point after. His kick is good, and the Falcons come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. On the return, it's Chuba Hubbard. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense going to take over now for the second time. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. Off the play fake. Here's Young. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down. Raheem Morris consulting with his staff above, and they decide to throw the challenge flag here.
Previous play is under review.
At issue, was he able to stay in bounds? The NFL rules, you're looking for either 2 feet or a body part that is not a hand to be down with possession of the ball. No bobbling, the ball not moving around. He has control, so that's what the referee is looking at here. So the challenge is unsuccessful, and he's going to have to be careful here because he has just one challenge for the remainder of the game. Up the sideline, past midfield, and he'll be brought down, but what a run down to the 40. And another first down, and another big gainer. This time 23 yards.
At the 40-yard line.
I think it's clear this is something this offense wants to major in, the ability to run the ball effectively against this defense. And after that big gain, you have to imagine they're going to come back to it and dare him to stop it.
And he surges forward for a gain of about 5.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Ball on the 35. Here comes a 2nd and 5. They'll run here. The former Canadian track star, Chuba Hubbard, will take it. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 4. Here's Young to throw. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. And he's going to have the first down. It is a gain of 6. Good conversion on 3rd down.
Panthers, first down. 1st and 10.
I think they're going to have to be more creative here on the back end with the types of coverages they show this quarterback. Change the look pre-snap to post-snap. Mix in zone, mix in man. They got to make it more challenging on the quarterback going forward.
This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back, but not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd down, Young. He'll find his tight end, Tommy Tremble. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, inside the 20.
That's good.
Give him 14 on that one. It's a Carolina first down.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
Play is stopped for a moment. It is an injured Carolina Panther on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. slot man in motion right. A second down throw for Young. And that is incomplete, but now a penalty flag comes in late. He might have been caught with his hands in the cookie jar. The defense still arguing about that pass interference call, but their focus needs to be a stop. They face first and goal. Here comes Hubbard on a toss to the right. And he will win the race to the pylon. He's in. Chuba Hubbard. Touchdown, Carolina. Two choices down there. Either work it up inside or use that speed to the edge. And Greggy's able to sneak it in for the touchdown.
Down here this close, Mike, there's a lot of bodies in there tight. So oftentimes, if you can get the back on the edge, they can rely on that speed, and that's exactly what we saw here. He wins the race to the pylon, and he's rewarded with 6 points.
Fitzgerald now for the extra point. It's up and good. Panthers will move out to a 14-7 lead.
Falcons 7.
Following the touchdown, it is Fitzgerald to send this one away. Carter on the return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to take over for their second possession. From the 25, they'll go to work, 1st and 10. Now, faking the give. There's Kyle Pitts with the grab. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
It's a gain of 21 yards.
That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch. And it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game.
They're going to work this down inside the 45. It's a pickup of 12. First down, Atlanta.
First down.
This offense has to be thrilled, Mike, with the success they've had here on the ground in this opening quarter. Now as the rest of the game unfolds, everything in the game plan continues to open up.
Stick. To the right. That's Pitts. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
15 more yards.
Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
He'll manage only a couple. Ashawn Robinson there on the play.
Tackled at the 25-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, he'll throw. He'll go down. They drop him for the sack on the final play of this first quarter. So they'll talk over what to do on this 3rd down play as we have hit the end of the first quarter. 14-7 is our score. Greg and I back in Atlanta after this. The Falcons have it to start quarter number 2. So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long as we are ready to get back underway. And that is incomplete.
intended for number 87.
So I actually really like the concept of the pass play, and I think if we see a little bit better pass protection, even just a second longer, that's probably a completed pass, but I think the pressure just sped his clock up just enough, Mike, that he wasn't able to get that ball exactly where it needed to be.
48-yard attempt.
The Gonzalez kick is good. And the Falcons are back within 4 at 14-10. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. On the return, here's Trevor Etienne. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense and receiver Teteroa McMillan set to take over once again. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender at him, maybe? Look at what he's done. Whatever the defense has tried in the first half, it hasn't worked. On play action, Young. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up second down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Second and 10. To throw is Young. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
A gain of 15.
I can't tell you, Mike, how many of these offensive skill players around the league, they look at man coverage as like a personal offense. After that last completion on the way back to the huddle, I think he had a few choice words for him. I think he said, hey, man, you can't guard me one-on-one. You better ask your coach for some help, because if he doesn't, you're going to be in for a long day. You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
He'll try again here. Second and 10. Quick throw, taken in, and he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Complete to number 18. It's a gain of 5. Brings up third and 5.
Here now, third and 5. Receiver in motion, headed left. From the gun here on third down, it's Young. He'll try to run for it. Oh, what a run. Down inside the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 28 yards.
It's a gain of 28 as they convert on third down.
A 28-yard gain. And a Panther first down.
The defensive line has to do a better job of contain rushing, especially on third down. Like, you can't rush one-on-one. You have to rush as a unit. Keep the quarterback in the pocket, and when you let him get loose,
the ball comes out. And fortunately, a Panther was right there to get on it. So no turnover. They retain possession.
So as you start operating your red zone offense, of course it goes without saying, Mike, you're trying to score touchdowns. But the worst case scenario is that you bring your field goal unit and you at least try for 3. You have to protect the ball. Turnovers are the cardinal sin of red zone offense. In this case, they dodge a little bit of a bullet here. The ball comes loose. Fortunately for the ball carrier, his own team recovers it. They can keep their offense on the field and see if they can finish this drive.
First down. It's a gain of 6. First down, Panthers.
They can still get a first down at the 1. First and 10, they go from the 11. They'll go play action with Young. Oh, looking end zone, but it is out of the reach of the receiver and incomplete. Teteroa McMillan was the intended receiver. And it'll lead to a second down. Young hands it to Hubbard. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
From the gun, it's Young. Taking off, he'll try to, and he'll take this one in. Bryce Young, touchdown, Panthers. That's his second touchdown of the afternoon. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs could be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
The extra point is good, and the Panthers are out to a 21-10 lead. Looks like we have an injured Falcon on this play. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Following the touchdown, it is Fitzgerald to send this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They'll look to make some inroads here. They're down 21-10 in this one as they come up on a first down. He'll step up and run this. And he's into a slide to avoid the contact. Does so successfully, and it's a first down.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. Toward the left side, he gets back to Mooney. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. How about this one, too, to start the drive? Mark him off with a gain of 24 and another first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why. Great job there by the defensive lineman. You can see, Mike, why he is one of the best interior players in the entire league, using his strength and his speed to get through into the backfield, take the running back down for a loss.
2nd and 11. Back to throw. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force third down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
Here's Stick. He'll take a shot here, back to the end zone. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Tyler Algier. Touchdown, Falcons.
And this special connection between this quarterback and his receivers, it was on full display right there. Great job getting behind the defense, and then what can you say about that ball? I mean, you can't put that ball in a better spot, and with timing and accuracy like that, leads to 6.
Gonzalez now for the point after.
The extra point.
The kick is good. And the Falcons are back within 4. It's 21-17. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense now as they head out to take over for their next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
He's just unable to secure the catch through the contact, and really nice job timing that hit up by the defense. And at this point, all you can do is get up, get back in the huddle, and hope your quarterback gives you another shot.
They'll try the right side with Hubbard. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Sometimes you run all those big bodies out there, you kind of tip your hand. I always love going big jumbo personnel for a play action. In this case, they keep the ball on the ground. The defense knew it was coming, and they suffer a loss.
Young. Gonna set up the screen here to Hubbard. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Falcons offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. London brought in motion. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. On the move left. He's going to run it. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. An even 20 yards. Impressive start to this drive.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
On 1st down, it's Robinson. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down.
43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They'll go again with Robinson. And he's going to pick it up. Take it down inside the 35 for the 1st down.
A gain of 9
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
And he'll force his way forward, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 31-yard line.
Now Stick. He's going to take a shot down the field. That is hot. What a throw. Daryl High. Touchdown Atlanta.
And while everyone's going to focus on the play downfield, this touchdown, Mike, it ultimately occurs because of the protection up front. They do a great job picking up the blitz, and with those extra few seconds, that's all the time he needs. Finds his man streaking downfield, open, and when great awareness meets great scheme, all you need is great execution.
Al Gonzalez to add the PAT. It's up and through. And the Falcons extend the advantage to a field goal. It's 24-21. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense starting to trot out for this next possession.
At their own 29-yard line.
This drive begins with a run by Hubbard. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. They get 13 to begin the drive. It's a first down.
And the Panthers first down.
The ability to be effective on first down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a third down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
That's right side, taken in by Tremble. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at their 49-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down. A give up the middle, it's Hubbard. He plunges forward for a couple of yards. Hayden Ellis in on that stop.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and
1. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to sneak it here. And he's going to be brought down right on that yellow line with the official signal. He's got enough for the first down.
First down. 2 yards
So,
on the play.
2 minutes to play in a back and forth first half. Greg and I back to Atlanta in a moment. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Young. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. It's good for a Panther first down.
Let's give some credit to this offensive line. Once they identified the blitz, you could see them communicating with one another to make sure everybody is on the same page, and that's what gave the quarterback enough time and found the open man.
Young to throw on 1st and 10. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
On 2nd down, Young. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete. The pass intended for Xavier Legette. And it'll be 3rd down.
On the coverage.
Initially, a nice job by the receiver. He actually was open downfield. He was able to get behind the defense, but the window closed up so quickly they couldn't get the ball to him. Prevents the big play.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Tommy Tremble, tight end, the man he was looking for there. And that'll set up 4th down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
He'll bang that one through. It's good. And the Panthers will tie the game at 24.
And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
So, field goal ties things up, and we're back at it as this kicks away. This one taken at the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Falcons offense getting set to get back to work. They'll work in a tie game here in the second quarter and get started with 1st and 10. To throw is Stick. Short throw taken by Pitts. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
Stick to throw. That'll be taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. That is incomplete. Throw took him out of bounds, and it will be 3rd down.
Well, it's going to go down as an incompletion, but it wasn't from a lack of effort. I mean, he did everything in his power to try to get both feet in bounds. The pass just took him a little bit too close to the sideline, and he just wasn't able to save the play.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short yardage. They'll try and get there on the ground. Falcons go ahead and take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Stick, forced out wide. They'll run again, and they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Now the Falcons will use their 3rd final timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Stick to throw. Oh, a loose football. No turnover here. One of the guards able to get the football and get on it to keep possession.
It's now 2nd
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
One final throw before the break. And he somehow manages to get back to the line of scrimmage before he's hustled out of bounds. Halftime coming up, and we'll take you down to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hansen back with you in the studios in Orlando. We've got a close one, as we expected. No quarter given on either side. We are all tied up at the break. This one could go either way, so let's find out as they're ready for the 3rd quarter kickoff. Send it back out to the stadium and our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. Probably a tough halftime for the defensive coordinators, trying to do something to slow down these offenses. What a show they put on in the first half. Now return coming from the 7. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Falcons offense looking to get back to work as we begin this 3rd quarter. Both these offenses have been in form. Is the defense going to show up? Can anybody come up with a stop? All tied here in this 3rd quarter, and it's 1st and 10. And And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
You know, Mike, what separates the really elite defensive edge players from everybody else is not only their ability to rush the passer. That's what everybody focuses on. But, man, the defensive ends that are good in the run game, those are the guys that never leave the field.
Pitts is the man in motion. Looking to throw here on 2nd and 10. A throw left side, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Kyle Pitts.
Incomplete.
3rd down coming up.
Brings up third
and long
and
obviously
10.
isn't an ideal situation to be in offensively. It makes you very predictable, which then places a ton of stress on your offensive line and your quarterback. So they've got to start being more productive in these early downs and set themselves up for more success come 3rd down.
And that is incomplete.
To the sideline.
And barring an aggressive decision here on 4th down, it just seemed like a really wasted possession to go 3 and out, not able to pick up a single 1st down. Not only do you not able to gain any field position advantage, it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails as you find yourself jogging off the field and the punt team coming on.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football.
At their own 37
The Panthers offense getting ready for their opening possession of this 2nd half. Tremble comes in motion. Off the play fake. Here's Young. That one's hauled in the side by McMillan. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And the Panthers.
He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
Now, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs. You certainly don't want to be wasting downs at this stage of the game, but with nothing open, I can't really blame him. There was really nowhere to go with the ball. You don't want to start throwing into tight coverage, and he just has to simply throw that one away.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Leggett in motion. Throwing on 2nd down, Young. And nice work there after the catch. He's a little short of the 1st down after a gain of 7.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
They'll empty out the backfield and line up for 3rd and 3. Here's Young. Caught left side. It's complete. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
For a Panthers 1st down.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play, understand where the holes in the defense are, and get there and be friendly to the quarterback. And if you're open, stay open. That's NFL route running. That's what the best guys do. Remember this one thing, Mike. It is not how well or how often you run the ball in the NFL. It's when do you run the ball well in the NFL? And I think that's what a lot of these offensive play callers are starting to realize. Can you run the ball well in critical moments of the game? More important than how many gross yards you run for. They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
A 2nd down throw for Young. Here's a screen coming for Dowdle. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
To throw is Young. And he'll just have to throw this one away. There was nowhere to go downfield. And now it's going to bring up a fourth down.
I think if you're willing to throw it there, it tells us everything we need to know about the decision coming up here on fourth down. He didn't have anything available, threw it away, and I think in this part of the field, you got to really think hard about going for it.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Panthers will move out in front, 27-24.
Job number one on this drive. Find a way to get the lead. They, of course, would have loved to score a touchdown, Mike. But 3 points here, that's a pretty good consolation prize as it moves him out in front.
He'll start at the 4. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to take over once again. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. Can't ask for much more. 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
And the Falcons.
Well, that's how you get a drive started. A big play here in the run game, and you have to imagine this is something we're going to continue to see. Success early in the drive typically results in success later in the drive.
On first down, right back to Robinson. And this time they are ready for it. Thrown for a loss. And it's second down.
So the offense trots out the old jumbo package. So they bring out 3 tight ends, big bodies. But the defense kind of sees it coming. They've got to change it up. You can't be so predictable. Big bodies run, small bodies pass. And I think that's a little bit of what's going on here.
That's caught right side. It's London. He's going to be taken down at about the 30.
It's a gain of
18 yards on the catch and run will move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Well, there's not a lot to this route. Man coverage and you got a drag route. Give him a little something off the line and go. Win with speed. Good accurate ball on the front shoulder pad allows him to pick up the rest after the catch and leads to a big gain.
And here's Bijan. And he'll move this ahead for about 4 yards. J.C. Horn coming in from his quarterback spot to make the tackle.
4 yards.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
It's 3rd down.
You could see the quarterback, once he got the snap, he was looking for any seam, any daylight. But nothing materialized, and he's fortunate he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Have to get this to the 20. Here's 3rd down. Stick. Got his man at the 6. And he's into the end zone. Great London. Touchdown Falcons. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
Gonzalez now for the point after. He's got it. And the Falcons have taken a 4-point advantage.
Falcons 31, Panthers 27.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. To return is Hubbard. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
1st and 10.
The Panthers offense and receiver Tenaroa McMillan set to take over once again. And you see the numbers for him into this 3rd quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open and electric throughout. the strength on display, rambling through tacklers for a gain of 8 yards.
I think every running back's dream is that he's going to run through a wide-open hole and have breakaway touchdowns, but that's not necessarily the case very often in the NFL. So the backs that are the best are the ones that can get more yardage than maybe what's blocked for, and I think this is a nice physical gain here that they can continue to build off of as the game unfolds.
And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
It's a loss of 1.
With how fast they were all over that play, you almost wonder, Mike, was there a pre-snap tell? Did they know that play was coming? Because I'll tell you, that defense was on it from the start.
From the gun, it's Young. Now he'll run. 10 yards on the scramble there, and he picks up the first down.
10 yards. And the Panthers, first down. It's a gain of 10.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Give them 12 on that one. They are on the mark. Another first down.
Like the old adage, you run to set up the pass. This modern offense nowadays, we're starting to see that flipped upside down on its head. Typically, the success of the passing game is what allows teams to have success like this in the run game.
And a nice run there on first down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup, brings up 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line.
To throw, Young. Looking left side is tight end Tremble. And he's going to be out of bounds and just beyond the line of scrimmage. That's all they needed to pick up the first down.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that would be a bit of a letdown.
And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and
2. Here's 2nd and 2. In motion comes the tight end, Evans. Now Dowdle. And he'll get the first down there. A pickup of about 5 yards.
A gain of 6. That's good for a Panthers first down. It's a gain of 6.
So, Mike, you know by now my philosophy on third down. If it was up to me, I don't even want to be in third down. I want to get all of my conversions on first and second down and be able to stay in those neutral down situations. So that's exactly what they do here. They lean on the ground game and pick up a fresh set of downs. At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
2nd and 5. They'll run with Dowdle. And the Panthers are going to have first and goal coming up. He takes this down to about the 5.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
This has been some kind of march downfield. Now, can they pay it off with 6? It's first and goal. That's to the end zone, but they cannot connect. It's incomplete.
There isn't much room for error when operating inside the red zone. The field is really condensed. Those throwing windows become a lot tighter and forces your quarterback to make some really highly contested throws. And as we just saw, those aren't always going to go your way.
Here's Young. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Bryce Young, touchdown, Panthers. And that is now a pair of rushing touchdowns. The quarterback giving it to them, Greg, with his legs in this one.
And we're starting to see, Mike, why this week this coaching staff told us they're encouraging this guy to do this more often. His ability to be a passer, but also a rusher, is an element to this offense that is hard for defenses to account for.
On now is Fitzgerald for the PAT. He gets it to go. Panthers go up by a field goal as they lead it by 3.
Falcons 31. Ryan Fitzgerald.
Following the touchdown, it is Fitzgerald to send this one away. Here comes a return from the 5. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Falcons offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. And this will be a Falcons first down as he's able to get it up to the 37-yard line.
It's a gain of 11.
Well, Mike, you know the old saying, the more tight ends on the field, the better. And in this case, it worked out perfectly. A lot of big bodies on the field, hat for a hat. Nice job there by the back, picking up a good gain.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. Another run here for Robinson. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. So, no shortage of offense in this one as we end the third. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. They'll begin the fourth by giving it to Robinson. And he's going to get upended right at the line of scrimmage. And he's picked up and thrown down.
No gain on the play.
And the big man in the middle swallows him up right at the line of scrimmage. And I think the next time this offensive play caller decides to go to the ground game, Mike, I bet you he's going to find a different place along that defensive front to attack.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short. This one just too far for the receiver out in front of him. That one falls incomplete.
They're trying to take the top off the defense, make them feel that vertical threat and soften everything up. Wasn't a ton of separation downfield, at least not what they would have preferred, and ends it up being a wasted down.
The Falcons getting their punter out there. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the fourth quarter. Returnable from the 17. And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line.
At their own 36-yard
Panthers offense and running back Rico Dowdle getting set for this next drive. 1st and 10 now from the 36. Getting the tight end involved in the run game here. And he'll work forward for about 4. It's 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
On the RPO, a pass taken by McMillan. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll go with the sneak. Trying to find any seam he can, but the push too strong in the middle. He didn't get there. It's 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's
no gain on a quarterback sneak. That's pretty surprising, Mike, anytime we see that happen. There just aren't many plays in the NFL that we consider to be automatic. The quarterback sneak is normally pretty close.
Punting time for the Panthers, set to kick this one away. As they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth quarter lead. The Falcons offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. On play action, he'll set up to throw. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout. That's going to bring up second down.
A bit of a risky throw there, Mike. You don't love to see a quarterback force the ball, especially into a crowded area. In the end, I think he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Here's Stick. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
A loss of 1.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
Now Stick. He'll try to run for it. And he wisely hit the deck at the end of that one. No unnecessary shot there. It is a first down.
25 yards on the play. And the Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
And this has been a familiar sight all day today for this defense. They have no answer for this quarterback as a runner. That last scramble puts him over 100 yards for the day.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. It's a give up the middle to Robinson. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
The tackle by Christian Rosepool. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
A loss of 5 on the play.
Bobby Brown
It's now 3rd
in
and
there
13.
for a loss of 5 on the sack. And now it's 3rd down.
This guy's like a man amongst boys right now out here, Mike, and you just don't see these sort of dominant performances on the NFL level very often. I mean, whether they got to double team him or keep sliding the protection to him, I don't care what they got to do. Someone has to block this guy because he's completely destroying the entire game.
Throwing now on 3rd and long. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Got to give a lot of credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was plenty of time for the quarterback to work through his progression. I thought the protection was actually pretty solid. But at the end of it, there was just nowhere to go, and he had no choice but to just throw that ball away.
The Falcons send their punting unit out. So that one going to land out of bounds, and the official's going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. The Panthers offense and receiver Teteroa McMillan set to take over once again. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Dowdle. And mark them down up beyond the 30. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick 1st down.
This running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
Here's a carry for Dowdle. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's 2nd down.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
That one taken in right side by Leggett. And he'll be taken down at the 30. It's a big play when they needed it the most. 41 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
It's not a coincidence, Mike, that the best offenses in the NFL are all excellent at yards after the catch. It's a combination of a few things: a highly accurate quarterback and the ability of the scheme to get open players in open space. Once you do that, the rest is up to them.
They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5 at the 25-yard line.
So, from the 25, it's second and 5. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Now they are in business. Inside the 15-yard line.
A gain of 12 yards.
A pickup of 12 yards. It's a Carolina first down.
Fourth quarter, you find yourself protecting a one-possession lead. It's a fine line, Mike, between do I keep the ball on the ground, continue to work the clock, or stay aggressive, try to extend this lead to a multiple-possession game. That's the balance this play caller is dealing with right now.
He'll try to get back to the line, but he's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
It's a loss of 2.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant. And once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
To the right side, he finds McMillan. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Third and 5. Out of the shotgun, Young. To the back of the end zone, he's got it. Xavier Leggett, touchdown Carolina.
Touchdown Panthers.
Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Now remember, all scoring plays are reviewed. Tight game, tight call. They're going to take a good long look at this one. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over. Remember, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear, incontrovertible visual evidence to the contrary. In other words, it's got to be the truth. So, ruled a touchdown originally. They didn't find any reason to overturn it, and it stays on the board.
The kick is good. Makes the score Panthers 41, Falcons 31.
Following the touchdown, it is Fitzgerald to send this one away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. Good return, but he pays the price at the end. Picked up and thrown down. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They'll start out first down and 10. Stick to throw. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
It's a loss of 8.
Nick Scorton, he's in for the sack. It's going to be a loss of 8 to begin the drive.
Just simply more of the same, and you're just not going to have a lot of success, Mike, when you're constantly starting drives with second and long, third and long. It's just not a good way to play offense in the NFL, and here we go again.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. To throw is Stick. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson. Well, they'll get some of the sack yards back, but it's still going to leave them with 3rd down.
They may not have moved the chains, but with what they were dealing with there on 2nd down, that's a really nice pickup because now it opens up your play call sheet on 3rd down where it's a little bit more manageable.
This is 3rd and 6. Throwing, Stick, and that is incomplete. Drake London was the intended receiver there.
Incomplete.
And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Really nice play there by the defender, Mike, and not only to force the incomplete, but it's the timing. Understanding if he gets there too early, you bring in PI. You get there too late, it leads to a completion. That time he times it just right and knocks the ball away.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And he'll give himself up after picking up the 1st down.
That's just a big-time play by this quarterback on 4th down. You can see he starts first look cover, then he goes through his progression. There's nowhere to go with the ball. He can't throw it away, can't take a sack. He quickly decides to turn into a runner, uses his legs to pick up the 1st down, and they're still alive.
That is incomplete. No way to force a football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
He'll step up and run.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
3rd and 7. Here's Stick to throw. He'll take off again. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 39 yards.
At this point, it just gets frustrating for the defense, right? I mean, you've been watching this guy make big play after big play all game long, not only on the quarterback-designed runs, but it's the scrambles that can really break the back of a defense, and we saw it again here.
They've got all 3 timeouts left, but need to score quick. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Even when it seems like they're putting a nice drive together, Mike, they just can't seem to escape this pass rush. It has been relentless all game long, and they get him here again.
Here comes 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He takes off.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short gain.
Gonna need a big play now. 3rd down and long. Back to throw. There he goes again. And they'll get maybe a yard out of that. Not nearly enough. It'll be 4th down.
Only a yard.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Gotta let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs.
These are the situations where, as an offense, you're trying to dial up your best play call to make sure this possession doesn't get wasted, but let's give credit to the defense. Big moment, big fourth down opportunity, and they're able to get off the field.
He'll step up and run this. And he will be taken down. We'll see if they want to use those timeouts, but this one is about done.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 19-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40. Falcons go ahead and take their second timeout, and they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. Only one timeout remaining for the defense as they take a knee. So this one a win for the visiting Panthers. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, they got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone.